All right, we'll get going here. So looks like 2070 bio. Or no, 270? Yeah, 270 bio. Got some positive news from the AdCom. Totally forgot about that one, to be honest with you. Sorry about that, but I checked that regularly, but unfortunately, it's going to be under Bristol Myers Squibb so as the sponsor. So kind of, not that I'm not looking at anything for Bristol Myers because it's one of our healthy dividend stocks, but the big move here would be for 270 because, well, first of all, the stock is beaten down, but second of all, I still think that at some point Bristol is probably going to take a look at them and just say, why don't we just own it? Why are we even sending out any cash to these guys? We can just absorb them, get the rights to all their platform technology, and move forward. But if they don't, you can just stick with 270 because if it does become more of a commercial success with the expanded label, should see obviously some growth here, and that will obviously bode well for the ticker as well. So either way, it's just positive things for TSVT. Overall, let's take a look at the market though. So breaking out, came in, touched here. I don't have anything to go off on this, so we're going to hold off. AGRX, AQST, still, just kind of grinding higher here. I think it's, I was going to say, I think it's just the top C. See what's keeping the lid on it, though? A previous uptrend. Notice, right? So this is them keeping the lid on it there, but angle attack is still definitely to the upside here. Very sharp angle. I think we can... I'm holding off on it. I mean, I'm happy where it is. It's still going to be a top idea in the service because they already have revenue. They already have royalty revenue. This could be a home run product for them. And, could it be blockbuster? Not sure. It might be a blockbuster product, but it also validates their epinephrine efforts, right? So they show that the epinephrine, man, the fact that you can have this as an epinephrine product and you can formulate different ways, there's a lot of uses for epinephrine beyond just anaphylactic shock. So, and I think it's just the fact that how many do they have? 5? I mean, the platform technology that they can put just about almost any drug into a sublingual or buccal tab or film, and it works, is very impressive. And considering we don't, here's a couple things that, I mean, even the fact that it works, hold on, let's just go back to the epinephrine part. So they've proven that even when you're eating something, so you've just ate something and you get anaphylactic shock, like you're going to anaphylaxis, right? And you still have food in the mouth, this will still find a way to absorb, right? You have food, like that's the thing. Like, that would be, what happens if it's, there's coating, you can't, it's just, they've figured this out, guys. And the technology of a farm film that the person doesn't have to get an injection, right? Surprisingly, despite having this monstrous EpiPen with the huge instructions on the side, I forget what it is, but it's a significant amount of people doing it wrong. Whereas this is just like, hey, put this in the person's mouth. Just open up their mouth and just shove it in, and it'll be good. Even if the person swallows it, it's enough to still stop and be life-saving. Whereas if you don't do an EpiPen in the right spot, and that's if you don't do it just like, misfire it, you are looking at a I mean, this is... Yeah, it's just, it could be a massive home run. And obviously not having to carry around a huge EpiPen will be nice. My only concern with that is if you are alone and or you're you don't have somebody that knows that you have it, and then someone has to help you out and you don't have an EpiPen in your on you, and you have to trying to explain to somebody that's it's a in a pouch, or it's a little, it's in my wallet, it's in my pocketbook, or and what's it look like, and finding it. The fact that you have an EpiPen is inside your with you is very obvious what it's used for. That's the only thing I could say that might be a little bit of an issue, but I think it's just another product that they will have that obviously would be a nice bump in revenue, could be a home run, could be a blockbuster drug, but it's just another validation that what these guys have, their technology works, and all the other drugs that they've developed that a person probably an injectable is probably better. Or sorry, yeah, they're probably the promise of them the drug being originally IV or IM, or even sub Q, any sort of injection as the a better route because of how fast it needs to be absorbed, but it's not a drug that someone's not looking to have to constantly prick themselves and inject themselves. You can take it and do an oral film. So why you'd say, well, why don't they just do a pill? Well, the pill has to be digested, and it gets degraded by the stomach, and it's not 100% absorbed. Whereas this, because it's in your mouth and the blood vessels are right there and it can be absorbed, you're getting the benefits of the injection in terms of speed and ability to absorb and alleviate the symptoms or get the effect that you want. But you're also not having to inject yourself. You're getting the benefit of just simply putting it in your mouth and not having to sit there and constantly have to jab yourself. So there's that side of it too. Just you're getting the benefit of these things. Now what else could we? Here's the question: can a GLP-1 be put into a? Can you GLP-1 that? How big is a GLP-1? What's the molecule size on that? Almost 3,300. Okay, let's check out. Epinephrine. Would be HCl probably, right? Would be yeah. Let's do. Well, we could do the sulfate and. All right, let's just do. It's 33. 33. Okay, let's try that again. Let's do the conversion here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. I want to see if this is actually a thing. Because you have all these GLP-1s. I wonder if you can do something similar. So it's 18. 183 grams per molar. Uh, it's much, yeah. I don't think we're getting that on there. Shoot. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Epinephrine might be. I mean, they already have oral GLP ones, but get semaglutide. Yeah, it's possible, I think. Anyway, sorry for the long sidetrack there. A few minutes to open here. Questive, just keep an eye on it. I mean, right now we're moving more towards the sell, but I think I might have to update my targets if we hang out here, say for. I think we have to be up here for a couple more weeks before the volume to step. Let's check out monthly here. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to be here for probably a couple more weeks before I can technically move the targets enough. Yeah, I mean we are. Yeah, I can't even move. Yeah, I don't even think even at this point I don't even think I can move the buy target up. I might be able to move sell targets if we get the buy. Yeah. Now we'll see. Anybody getting pummeled this morning in the bio boom? Not really. Let's take a quick look at the bioreactor. Not much moving around here. What can we do here? See, what I like this one, and it'll always have the same risks, right? The reason why you like royalty and is the bull and the bear is almost always going to be the same. Like these guys have done year after year after year. Whenever there's like, oh, they're running out of a royalty, like that's the constant thing. Is you're buying royalties, right? The rights to the royalties. At some point, those royalties are going to fade. At some point, they're going to expire. Patent cliffs, all that stuff, and then but at the same time, you're always buying new ones. So it's a constant. It's just always there. That the two things, like these guys are just constantly looking for new ways to get growth, while they're well aware, right? They wouldn't have made the deal if they couldn't forecast and they couldn't find probably the replacement before they bought the current one, right? I have to imagine these guys have at least a decade, essentially, of when drug A goes out, we already have A1 kind of all on our sights. Like we already know that that's the royalty agreement. We already have a path to replace it. If we can't, we're looking for a completely new adventure that or a classification of drug that we can possibly grab up cheap. And it can be, because when you think about it, a lot of these guys, like, let's take the small caps, right, and mid cap pharma and biotech. Those guys, if they're not acquired right away, if they're doing a royalty, right, they're getting a commercial, maybe even research, but let's just say commercial. So you take a company small, biotech XYZ, right? They're developing an oncology drug. They've gone through the R&D. They've figured it out. They're gonna get into the clinic. They got past phase 1. Phase 2 data comes out, looks great, right? Almost guaranteed this sucker's going to go through phase 3 and have a shot at approval, right? But they're looking at their coffers. They're like, yeah, we're going to have to dilute extensively. And even if we do, we're going to have to go find somebody to help us out, because we don't want to go through the pain and all the uncertainties of going commercials, going alone commercially. So they go and they sign, either before or after phase 3, a commercial partner, and big upfront payment, right? Helps them get through, and kind of settle some finances. But then typically what they're looking for after that is, royalty, milestone payments and royalties on the commercial performance of, the drug. And then the commercial partner obviously gets the benefit, a large chunk of the sales, and split of this and that. But here's the thing: like, at some point, these smaller drugs, if they're not smaller companies, are not acquired right away. Then they're looking for their next drug and possibly rapidly expanding upon the drug's current portfolio, right? Or the drug's label, the drug that just got approved. So they're looking to expand that drug's uses, and then they have a pipeline of other similar drugs, or drugs going after similar indications, and they need to fund that. And then so royalty steps in and says, well, we'll pay you basically your milestones and like 5 years worth of your royalties, estimated royalties now. I haven't looked at the numbers, but several years worth of royalties right now, and you guys can use that to rapidly develop those other drugs and improve the label if you just give us the royalty rights to that drug, because it looks that good. That's all they do. And they can do that, and they can step in, and they have a price, they have a number, and everybody wins, right? Essentially. Someone might, lose out on potential long-term benefits, such as the smaller company that might have, over a decade or so of that getting milestone payments. It's nice, but in many other ways, like getting that money now to use it to get a couple more drugs through the FDA is going to probably be better for the near term, because they can get those things through and they're not going to bleed. And obviously roll the dice on those other two products, and that's how it's a great move. So I'm looking for RPRX to stay down here, maybe roll along. Well, they have a lot of downtrends. This is a mess, this chart, isn't it? Maybe today. I mean, this is obvious here, right? You can see this sucker. Right, there's that one. But I think we got one here. Yeah. So, gonna be patient. There's another one there. Boom. Looks good. I'll take it. All right, let's end it there. I'll probably just reiterate, because it looks like the things that we've been watching are starting to grind up. So I'll put out some price alerts for when we should probably look for these. And I will definitely stay in the chat a lot more this week and the following week. Us remaining patient and waiting for this time where the market, the sector, the industry, and these individual tickers are starting to show solid setups. Now we're just kind of waiting to see what the Qs are really going to do. Now the Qs leaders are taking a beating, but now healthcare is not falling apart. So what we need to see is a little bit, if we can wait for the Qs to kind of just figure out if this is their new, like they fell off a little bit, and that's fine, right? But we can still see that, look, there's another one right here. So we can have a little bit of confidence. Did I miss on that one? Yeah, we can have a little confidence that we're gonna, this might be just another spot here for them to just take a break before they blast off again. I mean, we're still bullish here. We're not deep blue, but we're still blue. So, honestly, as long as we... It might be an inside day, but once we get it back above this, it's probably just another continuation higher. All right, anyway. Take it easy. Market's about to open. Send me tickers. I have one piece that's coming out today, and I have several others that, again, I worked on this weekend here and there. That will be getting...